You'll have to pardon the wind noise this morning. So I've been thinking, I gotta find something different, something I haven't had. I've done a ton of coyote swaps, I've done a bunch of international stuff. I gotta find something different. Boy, you can really tell when it goes uphill. Probably can't on camera, but you can in my legs. Definitely tough when you're over 50. I'm just about to turn 56 actually. And as long as you keep moving, I think you keep living. So we're gonna do that. One of the best ways to keep moving and also to keep motivated is to go to these giant regional events, these outdoor car shows like Columbus Good Guys. Take a look at that Bronco right there. That's kind of similar to what you might have seen in the thumbnail for this video, and we'll get back to that in a second. A very encouraging and exciting part of going to these car shows is the sheer number of people that attend and how many cars they bring. All these buildings that you can see here in every direction are filled with hot rods, street cruisers, you name it, it's out there. And every year they get bigger and bigger. And you know, that's cool that the hobby or the culture is thriving and growing. That's exciting, you know. Today I'm on my way to go see a 1967 International Scout 800. Now, some of you are familiar with the Scout, some of you aren't. It is a 67, so it's really small, like the first era Bronco. And this one has been sitting for several years. It looks pretty rusty. I don't think it's gonna be that great, but I need to go and look at it. So we're gonna go prepared. We're gonna take the trailer and we're gonna go there and look at it with the intent of maybe building it. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna find until I stand in front of it. The 67 International Scout, this one is 4-cylinder. It's a 3.2 inline 4. It's actually half of a V8. Literally, it's a slant 4. It's 4-wheel drive. It's manual shift. It's got 4 on the floor. And supposedly, it works. We're gonna find out. The guy that owns it, I feel like he may have been in over his head a little bit with some of the repairs that were needed, because it does not run, of course. What runs, right? He did spend a bunch of money on brakes, which I guess it ran when he first got it, I'm not sure. But anyway, there's some things that are good about it, like new tires and looks like rims, but some things that are bad, like really rusty bottom. At any rate, these vehicles have a way of finding me. I see them and it's almost like they sent me a text. I gotta go look at this thing. So anyways, I'm loaded, I'm rolling. It's pretty much a whole day of driving, but let's see if we can go put a deal together. Well, put a deal together we did. We got that thing off the concrete pad next to his house with sheer force, loaded it on the trailer, and I drugged the thing all the way home, where I set it on the ground, and the wife said, "That thing looks like a Tootsie Roll." And I said, "Well, more like a TURDSIE roll." And that's exactly what it turned out to be. It is a turd, or at least it was, until we started working on it. So take a look what we did and how it turned out, because it's kind of a cool thing. Check it out. I mean, I don't think 1967 has a clutch switch, but let's make sure it's in neutral. I don't even know if that's the key. Some sort of secret button. It might just not be enough volts to turn it. I need something with a battery running. Never mind that spillage. Should be fine. Not enough juice, or it doesn't have good contact. Sit in there and give that some revs, will you? Not a lot, just bring them up a little. The motor spins because I turned it. Whether I have good ground to the starter, I don't know. What? It doesn't have the voltage to turn the engine. The starter's hitting the flywheel. I have to clean all the connections and start over, which I don't really want to do today.
What's that green thing?
I don't know. That's a high-tech piece of garden hose. Oh, you know what? It might have a battery switch. So, first things first. Can you see that thing on top of the motor? There should be a tiny orange glow right in the center of it. No. No. So it has no spark, which can be any number of things, which requires about another half hour, 45 minutes, and I don't feel like doing it. I'm cutting way into my beer time already. This is over for today. I'm gonna try to get power to this coil and then conversely into the distributor, and if I can do that, I believe I can get it to fire. Will it run right? Probably not, considering there's 5 carburetors that came with this thing. That means somebody doesn't know something. Meanwhile, probably can't see what's in there, but that's a Coyote truck. Just got that to replace the Chevy because number one, I'm not really a Chevy guy. Number two, this thing only had 70,000 miles on it, and it's a Coyote motor. And it was about time I got one. So yeah, this thing's great. We're gonna use that battery to power that battery and see if we can make this little ugly turd sickle run. that wasn't very difficult, was it? Sounds like something hitting something. I'm driving. I mean, that just sounds like maybe a little bit of valves. You could probably adjust the valves out of that. Doesn't seem to be missing. That's fantastic, actually. Well, I'd call that a win. You know what that means? As soon as I rig up some kind of kill switch, because they have the ignition switch wired wrong, so it doesn't energize the coil at all, and it definitely doesn't kill the coil, which is what you need it to do. But I now figured out why. They have all these switches and this. There's a little bit of theory that's missing in whomever was trying to make it run and drive. So the little bit of engine noise, I don't care about that right now. That could be valves, it could be anything. So let me rig up a on-off for this thing, and see if it'll drive. They're using this as sucking up bugs over there. I'm gonna switch this carb with one of the ones that looks better. This is Vacuum Advance. I don't know why it's put together with brake line. First things first. Hang on a second. I'm gonna switch this. The kill switch can wait. We'll power it off of that. Just unhook the battery and that'll kill the ignition. Go right ahead. About where I like it. I need to get a return spring on it. If I hook it from here to here, woo! That's horsepower. About 80 horsepower, actually. Got a bit of a miss, and the blinker works. All right. It feels like it's gonna fall apart. The whole thing feels like the body's just gonna fall off of it. Much Was the tire spinning?
A little bit.
All right, get in. Let's go for a ride. It doesn't have a horn. Clutch. First. It's got brakes. First gear. This is some four-wheel drive nonsense. We got a radio? No. No such luck, huh? It's going. That's third. We got 3 gears. 3 out of 4. Yeah. Will it downshift? Yeah, the clutch is pretty good. Gotta go fast. People come flying over here. Yeehaw! It's actually pretty good on the road. It's not bad at all. Going to 25. Right into reverse. Second. First. That's good, man. Wow, I'm surprised actually. I think I might have got this for a bargain. I mean, you know, I think it could do with all new suspension. Would be awesome. Too slow for 4th gear. It's like a little horse. It's not really like a car. It's more like a tractor. It's pretty impressive, honestly. It works really well for being loose and 60 years old. Well, it's a 67, so that would make it. Tractor. Here, will it do a burnout? Hold on. way to shut it off. I didn't put a kill switch yet. There we go. Runs great. No, it doesn't. So, I don't know who was doing the wiring, but they had like this multiple ignition, a button and a switch, and all you needed was this key switch. And I got rid of everything else. So basically you just turn the key and you're gold. Headlights work, even these little turn signals work. That's like awesome. It runs really good. I'll show you what I did up there. But so yeah, that's all that needed. I might do what's called spring over axle and just take the axle, which is on top of the leaf spring, and move the leaf spring here, lifting the whole thing up. But I'm not sure yet. So what I did, in case you were wondering, is I took the best carburetor I could find. Now, the choke cable, you have to get a longer one so it can loop around and pull this way, because the choke actually goes that way. But that doesn't matter for right now. And then down here, this bar that my fingers are on, this bar used to be over there. I just took it off, flipped it around, moved it forward, so when you depress the pedal, instead of pulling the linkage down, which the other carburetors needed, it now pushes up, just like that. And the spring is kind of shitty, but it's there for now. Looks like I got a little fuel leak coming from somewhere. But anyway, that's what I did. Oh, I powered the ignition correctly to the switch. So anyway. Really good now that the oil got circulated everywhere. I still hear a miss, but that could be in there. Whatever. This thing might end up with a fuel injected Toyota Camry engine. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I want to get all the rust repaired first. That's the first step. Okay, so I've been thinking about it, and I've been looking at suspension costs and engine parts and making this into something big and gnarly and cool. And the reality is, at the end of it, while it'll be a cool thing, I just don't see it being worth it. I feel like this is so original with the engine, transmission, axles, and everything works. I feel like it needs to go to a purist, someone who will love it for what it is, not chop it up and turn it into something else. So I want to show you this other truck, but at the same time, this one, I'm gonna probably let this one go. The exterior panels are really solid. It's when you get to the floor, because what it looks like happened is all this rubber dried out over the years, and it lets water in. See there? Look at that. That's build quality.
it lets water in, and it basically filled the thing up with water and rotted out the floor. The frame is good because the floor became drain holes. You know, it's not in bad shape. Almost everything works. Here, we can start it. There's no choke cable right now. See that there? Right there, those holes? Somebody drilled holes in it and made little covers. Those access the transmission to engine bolts, so you don't have to lay underneath this thing as much. Let's pull it out and take a look at it. Pretty good. Look at this. Somebody made these. They're aluminum, and I'm pretty sure those don't meet any crash standards, because if this is down and you get in an accident, it's actually a meat slicer. How crazy is that? And then, of course, you know, but let's take a look back here. It's sealed. It's all fiberglass, you know, and patchwork. But it's got a gun rack, and that makes it something. It idles. Let's check out the motor. I cleaned up the wiring a little bit. It was sort of haphazard the way they had it put together, and it's much better now. That single barrel carb, I mean, it needs a choke cable and a couple other things, but you could literally warm it up like I just did and drive this thing pretty much anywhere. You better bring a gas can though, because this, first of all, there's multiple gas openings. Two of them do nothing. That one and the one on the other side. I'm going to show you. Check this out. Yeah, I don't know if this is for... But can you see right in there? That's how you, I don't know, get your French fries. You definitely can't put fuel in there. It'll end up right on the ground. It looks to me like this one used to go to the old tank, which is in there, I think. I didn't really look underneath this too much because I began to get afraid when I saw the floor. However, this is where you put fuel now. It looks like a jerry can, like an old military surplus jerry can, just strapped in under there. It may have even contacted the tire with people in it. There seems to be some sort of goo on there. I'm not going to touch that. It holds fuel because there's fuel in it. You know, and it's a neat thing. It's just not, I don't think it's solid enough for me to take that body off. I'm going to end up so far into labor. But for a charming old driver that you can just buzz into town, buzz around, it shifts great, it stops great, and it runs pretty darn good. I mean, I didn't really have any trouble with it. So I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do with that yet. thing's like a little tractor. It literally feels like I'm driving a farm tractor. See if it'll do a burnout. Hold on. Wait till that power goes. I don't want to spit rocks. If it works. These are 1.5 PVC. So if you hit one with your wrist, it's not great, but you gotta be careful you don't hit your pedal on the ground either. Because if you hit your pedal on the ground, you're eating shit. But I need more mile per hour. There we go. I had to skip one. Now 2 is easy. All right, here we go. And these front wheels, this bike's so unstable. Oh, I caught one. Just keep your hands tucked in. Let's go. Look at the birdos.
And that is where we're going to have to leave it for this week. So please remember to like, subscribe, and share. And also keep in mind, every Thursday at 7 p.m., starting this week, we're going to start doing new uploads. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks. I'll see you soon.